What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the collective clips where you already know. Das, 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 das. I could do that shit all day. Literally, for at least a good 2 minutes. You already know I'm about to get it in. And before I get it in, let's hit that like and subscribe button. But even before we do that, let's get to this intro. Welcome back to the collective clips. And if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. Put the notification bell on all so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that I'm kicking. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I'm very humbled by it. So I don't know if you guys watched the other channel, Gunners Collective, but I did a video the other day where I was accosted, right? I was I guess motherfuckers tried to get at me, right? At Walmart. It was a fat dude, another dude, and a ginger. Well, guess what? Here's an update on that situation. I ran into Super Ginger himself, and the whole tide turned. Everything was different. Everything was different. I wasn't hostile. I was doing me. You know what I'm saying? I was smooth with my groove, but at the same time, he was getting his little mug on till he got checked by two people. Let me explain it, right? So the other day I was in Walmart, and I told you when I was coming out of Walmart, there was some young bucks, right? Straight up Edgars, punches pilots. They were posted up right there staring at my tires like they wanted them or something, right? So, of course, we got into a conversation, and I refer you to that video because I give you the full details on what exactly happened, fishing pole y todo. But these guys felt some type of way. Now, the ginger dude was very vocal in that situation. He had a whole lot to say. He was all gang-related, right? Gang-related without ever being a part of a gang. You know, it's like motherfuckers get this punches pilot haircut and voila, they're fucking the world's most famous gangbanger, you know, minus the meth play. But these guys right here, I wasn't intimidated in the slightest, but of course they're men. So at the same time, they could do bodily injury just like anyone else can. You know, you can't sleep on the Edgars. Edgars nowadays, they carry poles. Not like I had a fishing pole. These motherfuckers carry real poles. And they're out there trying to catch him a guppy. I ain't the guppy. I ain't the one. I'm very aware. And prison has done that. Prison has made me super aware. So everywhere I go, there's a difference between being paranoid and being prepared and aware. So when I go into a situation, whether it be a store, a casino, a fishing spot, fucking hiking, trying to go find Bigfoot, swimming next to the Loch Ness Monster, whatever it is, looking for aliens, I'm always aware that anybody could feel any type of way at any type of time. So I have to be prepared. It's better to stay ready than get ready. You heard that saying? That's the truth, right? It's facts. So anyways, when this ginger was talking to you, he stood out because of his red ass hair. I ain't never, ever, ever in my life seen a ginger with a punches pilot haircut, but he won. Okay, I'm used to guys like Woody back in the days, gingered up, you know what I'm saying, with the little fade, high fade homies. You know, I seen a couple bald gingers. How do you see bald ginger? You know, when they got that little speckle of red just coming out, it's starting, but it's not quite there. I've seen unlimited amounts of gingers, and hey, look, when I say ginger, that's a red-headed person, right? But at the same time, I've never had any issues. Shout out Irish Pride. They're like, the majority of them are gingered up. But this guy right here stood out amongst the rest because he had the little shag tail in the back, the little fucked up bowl haircut. The Vato looked like the Miklo version of Apocalypto. So he was woofing that high-powered shit at Walmart. That Vato was Walmarted out the game. He thought he was that guy. Okay? And I was letting him be that guy because at the same time, I was one guy versus three guys. But ooh, wait, what a difference a day makes. So here's the update. I ran into him yesterday. It was different. So there's a little Hawaiian spot I like to go to. I like my Hawaiian food. It's healthy. It's sweet. At the same time, I like the meat. The shit is bomb. And so this is my spot I go to like once a month or whatever. And I look forward to it. So I'm whistling while I'm working. I'm walking in that motherfucker like, and they know me in that spot. Like they know I get the usual all the time. You know, it just is what it is. And so as I'm walking in, there's like, you can see the people in the front, and then there's like a cuts where you could actually eat in the store. I never eat in the store. I always get my shit and bounce home, do my thing. But as I'm walking in, I'm not paying attention, and I should be aware. Usually I look at my surroundings like, let me make sure there ain't motherfuckers with tattoos in here wanting to get tattooed up. Because usually that's where it's at, right? Because I have several tattoos. They have several tattoos. They feel a need to look my direction. I look their direction. If we catch eye contact, you already know, man, there's been motherfuckers in the grave all because of some stupid ass eye contact, right? And it could be my eyes just tripping, right? I mean, on my lefty shit. But I'm walking in and I see the chick that always works the front counter, and she's like, "Oh, what's up? Ooh, nice to see you. You want the same thing?" And same thing I always get, yeah. And so usually I'll sit down and I'll wait on my phone, scroll YouTube or whatever, wait for my little order. They say, "What's your name?" But I see a bad chick get up to go to the bathroom, and she got asked from here to way over there. And so being that I'm way over there, I'm right here, right? So I'm like, as she's walking, my eyes are walking. Like, these eyes are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these eyes are gonna walk all over. Boom, boom, boom. Right? So I'm just doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I see a ginger get up, and I spot him about the same time he spots me, right? He looks, I look, he looked. I said, "What's up?" And then he tries to play the role. He's like, "Oh, what's happening, man?" And he walks past me to go to the bathroom. Now, his old lady's in the bathroom. He's in the bathroom. He went about 2-3 minutes after her because, or maybe it was less. I don't know. But I was transfixed on the booty, right? But so I'm waiting on her. Fuck him. It's him from Walmart. I'm going to jam him up 100%. But it's her I want to jam in even more. So she takes precedence over the bullshit because now he's alone. And that motherfucker was shivering and shaking to the bathroom. Hey, I heard him as like, there's a little hallway to the bathroom. For some reason, I'm listening now. Now I'm aware, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, poop butt, I got you, Super Ginger. And I hear clack, 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 clack. That's his ass cheeks literally clapping as he's walking because he's nervous. I know he's nervous. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, what would I do in that situation? He's going to go in that bathroom and call his home. He's like, "Hey, that fool's here. Pull up, pull up." So I'm waiting on my food, and I don't give a fuck if they pull up. That $20 worth of food means the world to me at this point. And his old lady's ass at the same time. So I have to figure out a way to get my food, try to get up in that, and check, oh boy, man, I got the trifecta going on. This is facts, right? So I'm sitting there like, all right. And I know that he's calling people because he's in that motherfucker a long time. He either the Hawaiian food didn't agree with them, or the author's nervous. He's going to stay in the bathroom the whole time until his fat homeboy pulls up, right? And then next you know, the author's going to get hit with some teriyaki chicken. It just is what it is. So I'm posted up waiting, and his chick comes out first. And she looks, and I'm not gonna lie, I had a couple chains on. I was looking gang, right? Like them youngsters say. I was an old head looking gang. So she kind of looks. So I'm like, I hit the brocha like that, curl it in, like, "What's up?" Right? She's like, "What's up?" She's just being nice though. She's not like trying to get at me. Her old man's right there. To what degree of old man he is, you know, to what degree of redhead she's rocking with. So I'm like, oh, she likes light-skinned fellas. Ding, 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 ding. Here you go. The number one light-skinned fella on the West Coast, right? So I'm like, "What's up with you?" She's like, "I don't know. What are you doing?" I said, "Eating, trying to get some Hawaiian food. What's up with you guys? What you guys into?" She's like, "Nothing." Now, this dude didn't notice me at first, so he didn't get a chance to tell his old lady, "Hey, that's that fool," right? He didn't do that. So just like I am, man, I don't never learn my lesson. She's like, "Oh, yeah, that's what's up. What are you trying to get into?" And she's not asking me in a flirty way. She's just having conversation, which she shouldn't be having. Because if I was in the bathroom taking a liquiazo from hell and my old lady was having a motherfucking conversation with a man, I'd be upset, right? I'd be highly upset. But he's in there, like I said, texting away. I'm out here like, fuck it. I'm going to hit 2 out of the 3. At least I'm going to get my food and maybe get some digits and get the fuck on. Whatever. If I don't get a chance to check redhead, whatever, I'll see him again. He's local. He has to be. This is the second time I ran into him in a week, right? It's cool. We'll get our time. So anyways, I'm right there. And she's like, "Yeah, what are you going to get into?" I said, "No, I'll go home, probably do a couple videos and shit." She was like, "Videos? What, you be doing TikTok?" I said, No, I'm a YouTuber. I do content creation. She's like, "For reals?" Nah. She pulls out her phone like, "Let me see." I said, boom, Gunners Collective. So she goes, she's like, "That is you." So now she's all different level. She was like, "All right, you go, boy, you're doing it." I was like, "Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I mean, hey, scroll down, and if you see me stand up, you'll know, right?" And so, anyways, we're just chopping up, and he comes out, and he looks at me, and then he looks straight, and he's like, "Come on, let's go." And she's like, "I'm not done eating yet." And I was like, "Hey, what's up, bro?" And he ignores me. I'm like, hey, Ginger Snap. What's up? It's it, right? Hey, what's up? What's up, fucking Ritz Cracker? What's happening, right? And he looks at me, and he's like, "What's up, eh?" Right? He's now, you got to understand, he's Mexicano. but he's redheaded. He's straight up, hey, fuck you, my man, fuck you, my man. He's Canelo, right? Canelo'd out the game. So, and I'm Benavides in this bitch, right? So he definitely ain't trying to fight me. So I'm like, what's up, bro? I'm fucking with it. I'm a Canelo fan too. But I'm like, hey, what's up? And then he was like, hey, what's up? I was like, what happened at Walmart? He was like, nothing, bro. You took that shit the wrong way. We were just looking at your tires. I said, yeah, nah, bro. Your homeboy, your fat ass homeboy. And he was like, hey, man, that dude's not even in, like a gangbanger like that. I don't know why he did that. I said, yeah, well, look, bro. He disrespected me. I'm not tripping right here. Like, this is my spot. Like, always be at this spot, bro. Like, if your fat homeboy wants to pull up to the spot, I'm more than likely he's going to see me at the spot. And he looks like he could eat a gang of Hawaiian. In fact, he looks Hawaiian. Tell him, I said, what's up, Oos? Right? And he's like, nah, bro. He's like, I ain't tripping like me and my old lady. And his old lady starts to get like, what's going on? She's tripping because there's a little tension, right? And he was like, nah, remember the guy I told you about, like in Walmart in the parking lot the other day? This is him, right? And she was like, oh, hey, I'm sorry about that. These fools be acting stupid. And the way she said it, stupid, right? You know how the Chicanas are? He was acting stupid. And I was like, yeah, he was acting a little stupid, right? I said, look, I ain't got no issues with anyone, but motherfuckers, you know, I got to be on my shit. She's like, I heard that. And he was like, bro, don't act. And then he gets brave, right? Because now he sees that like the tensions, like we're not tripping. And so he's like, bro, hey, you had to pull out the weapon and shit, bro. Let's keep it real. I said, bro, he was like, you're lucky we didn't reach under the seat. I said, and if you would have reached under the seat, you got hit in the head with a tip of a fishing pole quick, and then I'd have been on you. He said, and then my homeboys would have been on you. I said, yeah, but I'd have been on you, so it doesn't matter. I said, let me give you some game. Homie, let me give you some game. You know, J Diggs shit. Like 100 just ran when I said that. Here's the real game. I said, the game is this, bro. I've been doing this longer than you've been born, and I'm not a sucker, bro. Don't let the light-skinned fool you. I'll fuck you up. Like, I'm not the hardest motherfucker in the world, and I'm not looking for trouble whatsoever. I'm just trying to do my thing. I'm a family man. I'm just trying to live. But at the same time, bro, when you disrespect people just because you have a fucked up haircut from I don't know who your barber is the equivalent to Wes Watson's tattoo artist, Gaga, right? So I said, look, just let me do my thing. I'll let you guys do your thing. We're chopping it up, bro. I'm trying to put you guys up on game. He was like, yeah, but the homeboys, they be feeling some type of way. I said, well, who are your homeboys, bro? Are you north? Are you south? He's like, oh, no. We're just like party. We just party and shit, man. We kick it with everybody. I said, then why are you tripping? You're a civilian, homie. You're a civilian with a fucked up haircut. You're a civilian with a backwards fade. So what are you tripping on? He's like, bro, why you be clowning on our haircuts and shit? I said, bro. And I look at his old lady. I'm like, can I get some help here? Some assistance? She was like, I like the fade. I said, bitch, that ain't a fade. That right there is it's a mop. They dropped a mop on top of his head. This just happens to be red, so it stands out more. I'm telling you. So anyways, he's like, nah, bro. He's like, I'm going to get at the homies, man. If we see you in traffic, like, it's good. I'm going to tell him that, you know, it was good, that we're cool. And I said, no, we're good. But like, bro, I'm still feeling some type of way because I felt like you guys were trying to steal my tires or something. Like, you guys were up to no good. He was like, nah, it's because the homie wants to get some new tires for his truck. And he likes those fucking, the ones that you got, the Mickey Thompsons. I saw, that's cool. So we're kicking it, right? Trip out. So they call me for my food. I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to eat it right here. I don't give a shit. You know, his lady's ass had me hypnotized. That ass had me hypnotized, right? Hey, look, she had so much ass, I could see it, and she was sitting down. I ain't going nowhere, Soames. All right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, fuck it, let's party, eh? Big old itty bitties, right? So I'm right there just chilling. And this dude, he's like, he notices me looking at his own. I can't help it. Just that I'm not no stalker, nothing like that. But man, I mean, she was bad. And I'm just straight up. I'm the type of dude that's straight up like, I'll ask you the most awkward, crazy questions. Remember, I'm a YouTuber. I don't give a fuck, right? So I'm like, hey, why are you with this dude? And he's like, what? I said, what? I said, listen, bro, keep it real, homie. You know what I mean? He was like, hey, bro, you don't know, man. I be really doing it out here in the streets. I'm known out here in the streets. I said, for what? For a fucked up haircut and fucking and a fucked up tooth? Your tooth is chip, bro. Like, you're about to have another chip one fucking with me. And so his chick's like, he's just playing. He's just, don't hate. He's admiring, right? And he was like, nah, but like, and he's like discombobulated. He doesn't understand, like, what do I do here in this situation? Because I'd have beat his ass. I'm gonna tell you right now, look, in real life, this is the way it works. There's people that you just look at and you're like, bro, I'll break your chin. Your whole chin. Everything about your chin will be gone, disintegrated. You know, and then there's people where it's like iffy, like, oh shit. You know, and they say don't judge a book by its cover, but sometimes you need to. That's a fact. You can tell if that motherfucker has the eye of the tiger, the tan, you just better get on. That's a fact, right? So I'm looking, and he doesn't have the eye of the tiger. He has the Mary, Mary had a little lamb eyes, right? His shit is, he's dope boy. And so I'm seeing him, and I'm like, man, I'm going to start popping out his old lady. So I literally start like, what's up? What you guys about to get into? But I'm looking at her talking. If it was me, I'd have been frustrated. You know, but of course, look at his hair. What the fuck's he going to do, right? So I'm looking at his old lady like, hey, what are you guys going to get into? And she was like, I don't know. You should hit us up. And she tells me, right, shoot your number to my man, which I respect that about her. I respect that. I'm still going to bone her, but I respect that about her, right? She was like, shoot your number to my man. And he was like, oh, man, so my contacts are full. Stop it. You know, I'm about to be dancing, motherfucker. You better stop it with your funny ass Pontius Pilate shit, right? So I'm like, hey, take my number down, bro. If you ever need anything, hit me up. So anyways, I'm eating my food, whatever I get done. They're been done, right? I'm holding her hostage. She's liking it, though. I'm loving it, right? She's on her McDonald's shit. So we all get up at the same time to walk away. Well, where I parked my truck is like 3 or 4 spots down. They're parked right in front of the spot. So they're getting in the car. And as soon as I jump in my truck, this is facts. I jump in my truck and I'm already fucking looking back and she's looking, right? And I'm like, damn, I got action. And that fool's all fucking, man. He's telling her something like, hey, what the fuck, right? Because now he's brave now. Now it's just him and a chick. So I pull around right up next to him and I can literally hear him saying, oh, that fool's disrespectful, man. Fuck that. Watch. And I pull up. I'm like, what's up? Watch out. And he's like, oh, what's up, babe? He was like, yeah, we'll give you a call, man. We'll see what we're going to get into. And I said, nah, I'm good, bro. You know what I mean? I'm just going to pull out. But, hey, treat her right, homie, right? Treat her right because you never know when the big bad wolf will come, huff, puff, and blow her fallopian tube down, right? And he was like, oh, right? As I'm pulling out, a little Honda Accord pulls up. It was that same one. And I see no fat boy, but I'm already pulling out. I'm not going to double back. There's a few dudes, right? So I'm just pulling out, and I can see them all talking right there, and dude's pointing, and I'm just like, don't, get pasó. I'm on my Kid Frost shit, minus the SPM support, right? And I'm gone. But the moral of the story is Super Ginger wasn't too super. He was just ginger. He was just regular ginger, you know, throw him in a pot, mix him up, and it tastes all right. His old lady was super chicana, though. She was bad. So if you're watching this, and I know you will, chick, Sasuke, get in your man's phone and get my number and Sasuke, and you can call on Cabron. And I'm telling you right now, let me take you to Love Land. This turned into a fucking macking video, huh? I'm just trying to mack a little bit. But yeah, that was the update, man. I left. I'm gonna run into these cats again. And it seems like the animosity and the friction is building. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple uso partners that like to usulate. So it'll be all oof, oof, and it'll be over fast. But I'll tell you this about the ginger. You know, I was going in on his haircut. I was like, bro, because I finally got a chance to sit down with an Edgar. It's my first time ever in life sitting down with a real Edgar, like a real one, like a TikToker. And I really sat down with them. I'm like, bro, like, why? Like, do they clip your baby? Like, look at, I've been getting haircuts for my whole life. Now I just shave my head bald. That's what I am. That's what I'm on. That's what I've always been on. But I've never had scissors used on my shit. Like, what does it feel when they're going like this? Like, does it, is you got a fetish for it, or does it make you feel good? Or I don't know, man. But all I know is a redheaded Edgar is something to behold. It's like it's like Bigfoot. You don't barely see him, but when you do, you laugh. You know, you see Bigfoot, you're like, oh. When you see a fucking Super Ginger, it's like watching Eddie Murphy Raw for the first time. You know what I mean? Give my wabbit. It's like watching colors. You don't know if you want to laugh or cry. You don't know what you want to do, but it's definitely an experience. So if you ever see a Super Ginger out there on the streets, don't point. Don't make him feel uncomfortable. He's like a zoo animal. You just never know what he's into, right? But just chuckle. Just chuckle. Give him a call like this and see what he does. Anyways, yeah, that dude was discombobulated. He called his homeboys on me, man. But I was too swift on my toes to be caught up with those bros. So I just skirt on him, man. But he definitely has my number. So if they want to do the little setup thing or whatever, it's cool, man. You know, so you never know how a gun wiggles. I wiggle, though. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed Super Ginger. I got a great, fantastic bomb, a banger, a Bangladesh, a Super Norteño coming up this afternoon. Make sure that you guys tap in. If you haven't went and watched my world record breaking lefty gunplay video on the other channel, make sure you go to Gunners Collective. For those of you that don't know that I have another channel, and it's all love, man. So that's the update. Super Ginger caught up to me. Or did I catch up to him? I'm trying to catch up to his lady, though. Bang, bang.